Hey, everybody, what is going on? Serial Overdrive here, and today we're playing Entropia Universe. What we're going to be doing today is killing some Aatrox. So what's going on here is I'm doing a 100 PD Aatrox run, and we're just going to be doing this run talking about Entropia Universe and a few new things that are sort of coming to my channel here. So we've got some cool stuff going on, and I think it would be great to get you guys involved, start talking about it, and just make a video out of it, right? A classic Serial Overdrive video. So first things first, those of you guys who are interested, I'm going to talk about like my Discord and all that. So I do have links to all of that. It's been a while since I've called this out, so I'm going to call it out right in the beginning. If you're interested, there are going to be links to my, we got tier upgrade ready. There are going to be links in the description to my Twitter, my Twitch, and my Discord. So two of those I really don't have anything new about. Twitter I just use to sort of shoot the shit and talk about general bullshit. If you're interested in that, I'm on Twitter. Go follow me there, and I'll talk shit. And it's a completely different thing, right? Like it's not related to Entropia Universe at all. Every now and then I will do something with the Entropia Universe, like Twitter, like maybe I'll retweet something that they post, but in general, it has nothing to do with Entropia Universe. The Twitter is just, me, and it's Serial Overdrive on Twitter. I've got Twitch, that's where I do streaming and stuff like that. I haven't done streaming in a while, but I think there is a chance that there might be something coming for Christmas, so if you're interested in that, definitely recommend giving me a follow there. Not a subscription, just a follow. Follows are free, so there's no real harm towards doing it. And since I'm not really streaming all that much, I'm not going to be spamming your notifications or anything like that. All you're doing is just giving me virtual clout by going over there and hitting that follow button. So yeah, that's Twitch. And then Discord. So that's actually the one that I wanted to talk about. So with YouTube, there's this program or this thing that I've got called YouTube memberships, which means basically you select an option, you pay some money, and you're a member of my Serial Overdrive channel. Obviously, this is greatly appreciated because it helps the channel and helps me buy sort of new stuff and better gear and all of that. So that's going to be, we're actually going to be talking about something related to that here, but that's coming up later. But yeah, it always helps out. It's always appreciated. It just means that you guys you appreciate what I'm doing. And I know, it's money's hard to earn. You've got to work to do it. So when you spend money on my channel, I really do appreciate it because I realize that that's you guys showing me just how much it means to you. So I really love to see that. And it's always great to see those members coming in and, it's like, okay, they're doing good in life and they've got a little bit of money to throw my way because they appreciate the content. And I really do enjoy that. Yeah, it's nice. So what I wanted to do is every time I find a way to give a little bit more back, because it's hard, right? What I don't want to do is make members only videos, because I feel like even though there's probably I don't know what we're at now, but there's like 10, 20 of you guys, right? It'd be cool to make videos just for you, but at the same time, I feel like that I'm just sort of ripping off the general community because I only have so much bandwidth to make so many videos, and if I'm just making members only videos, that's really the mass majority of you are going to be missing out, which I don't want to see. So I try to do like little community updates and stuff like that, peeks into like personal life and stuff like that generally you just don't see if you're not a part of the, members community. Now, one addition to that is we now have membership roles on YouTube. On Discord. So if you're a member of the channel and you jump into Discord and you connect your YouTube channel with your Discord name or your Discord account, or I guess your YouTube account with your Discord account. That took me a little bit to get out. If you connect those two, now you're going to get a nice little role in the Discord channel. It's not much, but hopefully it helps. In addition, you guys do get some cool little badges next to your name. And you can use Serial Overdrive emotes. So, yeah, that's sort of cool to use with YouTube and all that. I know primarily it's more of like a live streaming thing, but you can use it in the videos too. And, it's cool. I see all your comments. You guys know that. There's no, ideally, like if I was some huge channel, there'd be like a members only type thing where they could see like members that have commented and answer back. But I read everyone's comments and I answer back when I can. So there's no real advantage there. Like I said, there's not that many advantages that you get, but at the same time, I really do appreciate it. So you guys, you got to know that, right? So yeah, that's the thing. You can go on Discord now, even if you're not a member. Like it's a cool Discord. There's a lot of us talking about Entropia Universe and all that. But even if you're not a member, the Discord's good. But if you are a member, it just means you're gonna get a nice little YouTube membership sort of status, which changes the color of your yeah, it changes the color of your name, so you're a little bit more noticeable. And then in addition to that, I think you get access to some like secret channels, secret in parentheses. There's not really much going on there. Like, yeah, there's no real use to it. I don't think anyone's used those channels in forever. So you get access to them, but there's no point. Anyways, that's all the updates. And the one thing I did, I think I was hinting at this a little bit. One thing I did want to bring up, and this is sort of exciting. So by the way, I've got 100 PDs of ammo here. I just converted 61 PDs because you're not joining me all the way. You're joining me like partially through this run. But yeah, one of the big things I did do, and I'm hoping that you guys can notice it, but probably some of you can. It really depends what speakers you're on. I upgraded the mic. So what you guys are listening to now is not my usual Blue Snowball setup. Now, the Blue Snowball setup I didn't think was bad, but this is so much better. So what I've got here, and this is pretty cool, I think. I got a Go XLR Mini, which means now I can use an XLR microphone. And what the Mini allows me to do is, hold on one sec. I think my dog might have to go out. Folks, I'm gonna be right back. We're gonna loot this thing, and then I'm gonna edit this together because what I'm gonna have to do is let my dog out because it'd be rude not to. I'll be right back. All right, and we're back. So if that was edited perfectly, what's going to happen is you guys just heard me say I'm going to go let my dog out. Now I'm back, and it's like bing, bang, boom. You guys don't even notice. I've been gone for like 5 minutes here. I had to take the dog out. Dog took a piss. It's good. You know, sometimes yesterday I was getting a little lazy, and my dog wanted to go out. I'm like, just wait till bedtime. It's like 1 hour. No, that didn't work. We didn't make it till bedtime, and then I had to clean up a big mess. So it's better if I do it this way. Otherwise, halfway through the video, you guys are going to hear me going, oh, shit, you know. But yeah, basically, so here's the deal. I got a better mic. I upgraded everything, and I think probably this is going to be something that you guys are going to notice the most. Like, there's people watching Warframe, Rust videos, all of that, but those videos are shorter, right? It's more about just getting information in this. This is just going to give you a nice little bit of clarity here, so it's going to be easier to hear what I'm saying, and probably for these longer videos, it's going to be better. So the setup I've got here, I've got a Go XLR, which means I can use an XLR microphone. It's got an amp on it, which means it can like amplify the decibels of a microphone. You need to do that with XLR mics because generally they don't have power to them. In addition to that, it's got some faders that I can use just for, what do I have here? It's a Go XLR Mini, so it's not the expensive one. It's sort of I think it's like a $250 version. I think that's what I paid. So it's a $250 version of like a $400 setup. But yeah, I can lower and raise the volume pretty easily just like that. I can hit the mute button. I'm not going to do that because there's no reason. Then I've got chat, music, and systems, which I can basically use if I'm streaming or anything like that. For these videos, I don't really use those features. That's why I'm like thinking I might get on Twitch a little bit more because I've got all these cool features now. I can even do this if I want to swear. I mean, I could just swear, but whatever. It's cool. I've got the feature. I don't know why people liked it because it's like, you know, if you got to reach over and hit a button to censor yourself, just either do it in your head or just don't censor yourself and say it. Like, no advertiser really cares if you say shit or something like that 5 times. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, this is a lot of mute features and stuff like that I really like. So I'm excited for that. It's a nice little Go XLR, fits right on the table, easy to use, and now. For the microphone, that's probably what you guys care about most. I've got a Rode Procaster. Yeah, that's what it says on it. It's a Rode Procaster. So here's how it worked, right? My friend was looking to sell one, basically bought one, didn't really use it that much. It was just like, hey, do you want this? I guess they got it in Australia or something like that. They got a really good deal on it. And originally I was going to buy an SM7B because those things are, I think this and the SM7B are about the same price. Or maybe just a little bit more for the SM7B, but the SM7B is legendary, great audio quality, everything like that. So I was just gonna go for that. And my friend's like, oh, if you're looking for a mic, I can just sell you mine. Like he said, he got it cheap in Australia, so he was willing to sell it to me pretty much like at the cost he paid for it. He'd only used it a few times. This thing looks pretty much brand new. So yeah, he sold it for me. It only cost like I think I paid. It's like 100 something bucks, like upper hundreds. I think I paid him like 175 or something like that, and it was like I gave him $100 and bought around some drinks and stuff like that. But basically, I got a really good deal on it, so I'm like, oh yeah, of course I'll do that. Because honestly, like I listened to a ton of videos, and the Procaster versus the SM7B, I like the sound of the SM7B just a little bit more. But with something like the Go XLR Mini, all the software you get to just adjust the bass and everything like that, you can make this sound exactly like an SM7B with enough tweaking. And in general, the sound's just really good. Like I think this works for me. The SM7B seems to be a little bit more bassy, but my voice isn't super bassy anyways. So overall, like top tier microphone. Really like how it's sounding, and hopefully, you guys notice a bit of a difference. It's going to depend on what speakers you're using. I'm guessing, and from what I listen to, if you're using something like AirPods, my Blue Snowball with the editing techniques that I use to sort of improve the audio quality just works just fine. This thing, there's no editing, no time required, so there's a huge time save there, right? Like I don't need to go through this video multiple times listening, making sure I got out all the background noises. This thing just cuts off all the background noises, and then yeah, it just sounds a little bit clearer, a little bit crisper. You don't get the P's so much. So I've got a I don't know what they call it, like a head on it. It's like a plosive filter, I guess is what it's called. So you don't get like the maybe you guys heard that, maybe you didn't, but it just sounds better, right? Like it just makes everything sound a little bit crisper. So yeah, really liking the mic, and hopefully you guys are liking it too, because honestly, I didn't buy this mic because of myself, right? Like you don't buy a microphone so that you can listen to your own voice. You buy a microphone so that when other people are listening to you talk, it sounds better. So hopefully that happens, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. I've got just a little stand on it now. I'll eventually get a boom arm for it, but that's sort of in the future once I've moved and all that. You guys are like, Siri, you've been talking about moving for forever. Well, the way leases work is you can't really leave until you're out of your lease unless you want to go through a bunch of bullshit, and I don't want to do that. I don't need that stress. So right now I'm just, I've got my little sort of dining room table set up, and then I'll eventually move on to something nicer. Because I'm still looking to get the desktop. That's going to be a month or two out, which works because honestly, I've been looking at like all the graphics cards and the 3080 and all that, and it's like the last thing I want to do with the graphics card is rush into it and buy something just because I want to buy it and end up with like a graphics card that just isn't as good or costs more than it should, when I could have just waited a little bit of time and gotten what I wanted. Like this laptop I'm running with here, it's got an RX 580 in it. That's good enough to run pretty much any game. It's not running them on high, but I really don't need that. So yeah, I'm just waiting till that's all ready, and I figure once we move, then I'll go ahead, get the nice desktop, get everything set up, and have like a primo sort of setup going here. I mean, I've got the mic, I've got the amp, I've got the keyboard, I've got the monitor, and like everything's coming together. So I'm happy about that. And you guys, for the part that you played and helping convince me that this was worthwhile, thank you. Because that's the thing too, like when you're with these mics and stuff like that, like if I was just a normal gamer, I would not say this mic's worth it, because yeah, people are going to hear you a little bit better, but most people don't care. For YouTube videos, it makes sense. It makes you feel like a bit more of a pro too. You've got this big mic in your face, and it's like, ooh, this is like the real deal. I like it. It's really cool. It's really awesome to have, because it's like, I've got the real deal here. There's like a foam piece sticking out. It's like a heavy mic and heavy arm, and there's a light up board over here that I can slide some faders on, and I like it. It's really nice. And some people are gonna say I'm bragging, but I'm really not. Like this is not something that's unobtainable for most of you. Like this is a couple $100, and let's be honest, if you're playing Entropia Universe, a couple $100 shouldn't be that much for you, because it's an expensive game to play. But yeah, hopefully you like it. Hopefully I sound better, and it's probably going to help me a lot too when it comes to some of these newer videos, right? Or newer games. So here's the deal, right? We've got Cyberpunk, we've got Black Ops, Cold War coming out. Those are the two games I'm like super pumped for. I wasn't going to buy Cold War when Cyberpunk was coming out on the 19th of November. Right now, it's, I think, 10th of November or whatever it is. But yeah, I wasn't going to buy Cyberpunk because I was just like, or I wasn't going to buy Cold War, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, because I was just like, there's not enough time in between them. I want to get into Cyberpunk, and by the time I'm back to Cold War, it's going to be dead, right? And then they delayed it till December 10th. Now that there's like a month in between the games, I'm like, oh, that's perfect. So I'm going to be buying some Black Ops. Well, I've already bought Black Ops. It's preloaded on my PC. We're going to be playing that like a ton. Hopefully I'm going to make some videos for it if I'm good. If I'm not, you guys will never see any videos, and you'll just know Serial Overdrive sucks at Black Ops, which I'm not that good at first-person shooters, and most of you are not surprised by that whatsoever. I'm not that good in games in general, right? Like, Ooh, that was a really good loot, 28 PDs. So Entropia Universe, it's generally just like a money spending game, right? Like you're just sort of losing money, and the goal is just to play the numbers, get ego, get efficiency. I can run numbers pretty good. I mean, that's a part of my job. In Entropia Universe, I don't do that so much because it's, it's a part of my job. I don't want to do it when I'm playing games. I just sit back, relax, play it. Sorry. I was just looking at my dog. I look back every now and then to make sure there's no like poop or piss or something going on that's weird, especially when my dog's quiet. When I hear noise, I know it's all good. When there's no noise, it's like, whew. Especially now because I know my dog's not sleeping. My dog sleeps like 20 hours a day, so this is the rare moment when there's no sleep to be had. What was I gonna say? But yeah, so I was super psyched for the fact that Black Ops is coming out, and Call of Duty Black Ops. I think it's Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, or something like that. Those titles just keep getting longer and longer. I liked it better when it was Call of Duty 1, Call of Duty 2. Well, they didn't call it Call of Duty 1; it was just Call of Duty. But then it's like 2, 3, and then you've got Modern Warfare. Now it's like Black Ops Cold War. Do I call it Black Ops? Do I call it Cold War? I don't know. BOC. No, that doesn't even sound good. But yeah, I'm pumped for that. I always love playing those games, even though I'm not that good at it. And then with Cyberpunk, that's gonna be a great one too. And I'll probably get some how-to videos and stuff like that out because that's one of the things I like to do. Like I guess I've got ADD. Like let's just ADHD, whatever it is. Like that's a thing. But yeah, so I always like to jump back and forth between a few things. So it's nice when I'm playing a game, like especially the single players, get like immersed into it, play it for a couple hours, and then I run into a spot where I'm stuck. Once I figure that out, it's like I figured this out. This took me some time. Let's show some other people how to do it. So I make like a how-to video on it, and then all you guys comment about how you should be playing Entropia Universe because nobody's interested in those how-to videos, and most of them don't get that many views. And it's like, yeah, but every now and then it'll be like I'll make a video that gets no views, but there's like one kid or one guy that's just like, man, no one made a video for this but you. Thank you. And it's like, yeah, that's what that's for, right? This is to fill the gaps between all those like big YouTubers who are just looking to make money by pumping out videos of like common questions, common things, like 10 things you didn't know about this game. And it's like you can shoot, you can run, you can jump, you can crouch, just real quick content right there that goes on for 8 minutes now. That's something that no one's talking about. So crazy. YouTube, they change things, right? If a video is 8 minutes or longer, now you can put ads in the middle. A lot of people are still acting like it's 10 minutes. It's shameless. So crazy, right? Like, there's so many. I've seen this from a lot of people. I lose a lot of respect when people do this. They're like, oh yeah, I'm not going to make this video 10 minutes long because I'm not about that bullshit. And their video is like 9 minutes long and they just put it out. So it's like, yeah, of course you're not going to make it 10 minutes long. Your video is 9 minutes long and it has a few ads. And then you comment, you're like, I don't know why it has ads. It's like, damn well why it has ads. You got like a couple 100,000 subscribers. You know what's going on. You're making legit money off this. Like, don't be pretending. Like, come on, like nobody cares, but like don't try and treat people like they're stupid because a lot of people aren't. Some people are, right? Some people are stupid. Let's admit that, but a lot of people aren't. So yeah, I always find it very dishonest when people are trying to like pretend that they don't know about the 8-minute thing. Like YouTube sent us all emails, and if I saw it, these big channels definitely saw it. Like that's just, yeah. It's one of those little things that a lot of people are like, oh, it doesn't matter. But I don't know. For me, it's like one of those things I hate to see it. So what were we talking about? Yeah, so I try and fill the gaps between all those videos and make like a lot of the smaller videos that just, no one's gonna make because they're not big long videos. They're just like 2-second blurbs. They're like, oh yeah, this is how you do this, and then because you don't get ads and because they're short videos, you don't really make that much. But I like it, and I help some people out, so it's worth it to me. So you're gonna see that coming out for Call of Duty and for Cyberpunk, and you guys are gonna hate it, but hey, not every video has to be your favorite video, right? And you don't even have to look at the video. But if you look at the video and hit the like button, it does help me out. It makes it so that I can buy cool stuff like this that you guys do benefit from too, right? Like because of all these videos, because of all the support through, Warframe, Rust, even Call of Duty, Skyrim, like all those games, right? That adds up, and then you can buy cool gear to make the videos sound better and be better and all that. And it's like, oh yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, that's those are two games I'm really looking forward to. And I honestly, I think Cold War is probably going to be a lackluster game. My expectation, I'm going to have some fun with the multiplayer, probably dump like 10 to 20 hours into that. And the storyline's probably what I'm going to enjoy most. And I'm just going to go through that whole thing. Because honestly, Call of Duty storylines, that's like an action movie, right? Like, put your beer down in front of you, put your energy drink, whatever you're doing, right? I don't drink energy drinks anymore. I found they were like pushing up my blood pressure. It's like old man talk here, but like, damn. Actually, was doing it when I was younger too. I just didn't give a shit about it. But yeah, I was like, I just took a blood pressure monitor. And I was like, let's see what's going on here. And it's like, oh yeah, when I drink energy drinks, I've got like somewhat high blood pressure, and when I don't, it's pretty normal. So probably shouldn't drink energy drinks. I can drink coffee, that's fine. But I don't know, weird. What was I gonna say? But yeah, you take your drink, put it down, and just sort of enjoy the story. It's just on rails. Play through it. You listen to all those characters, all these cool twists and turns and everything like that. And it's always just so much fun. A lot of people are psyched for zombies. I mean, I'll get in on that if one of my friends or a couple of them decide to play. But it's like the older you get, the less time your friends are playing video games when you're playing it. It used to be like so easy, right? Like when Call of Duty, Modern Warfare came out, it was just like I'd get home, right? And everybody's on playing, so you just sort of fire it up, sit down, you play Call of Duty for a good like couple hours. I used to be amazing at the game, right? Like my big thing was like I was really good at sneaking up on people, so I just maneuver around the map. I could literally just go up behind them and just knife people. I remember it literally got to the point, this was like original Modern Warfare, right? It got to the point where I was so good at it that I'd play, like me and my friends would play on a team. It would be like 2 of us, 3 of us, right? We're put on this team against this enemy. And like one of my friends was always sniping. One of them was like in the front with like a machine gun. I'd go with the machine gun. Second I saw an opening, get behind and start stabbing people. It was just like the perfect storm. Like we'd be able to take teams out in like 5-10 minutes. Or not 10 minutes, like 5 minutes, right? Like super fast. It got to the point where like the teams would be picked. You'd see us on one side. You'd see the other team, just all of them drop off. And it's like, oh, that's how you know you're good. I remember the best time was like, we were in this lobby and this kid's like, oh, you're just so good because you're using this overpowered this overpowered gun, man. It's such bullshit. Serial, like, come on. You're just some little, like, talking shit. And my friend's like, how about you just use this knife? And the kid's like, yeah, if you just use knife, I'll kick your ass. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to use knife. He's like, you really, And of course, he's talking shit the whole time, right? I just use knife. Like a super, I think it was Call of Duty Modern Warfare, whatever it was where you could set perks. I just used my knife class, ran around behind them. I got like 30, no, not 30. I probably got like 20 kills that game. And obviously the kid that was talking shit did not make it to the end of the game. He dropped out like halfway through, and I got a message about how I was cheating. I'm like, yep, it's a sign. I'm good. But yeah, I used to have so much fun with it. But it's like now I don't have as much time. They don't have as much time. So it's like that rare like a glimmer of hope we get when we'll all like line up and we can actually play for like a couple hours at the same time. Because that's how it is. Like people get married, they have kids, or you've got friends that you're going out to the bars with. Like your weekend isn't pretty much based on like 20, 30, 40 bucks and a prayer that you'll make it last, right? Because that's how it used to work. Like I'd go out and it's like, all right, for the bars, we've got 20 bucks a night. Like just low cost stuff that you're doing. So it's like, all right, let's just sit around, play some video games for like 5 hours. And we hit the bars at the very end of the night when we're pretty trashed. That'll get us like 2 rounds deep. We come back, play video games. Good to go. I still like doing that, to be honest, but just you get it less and less, right? Like people sort of move away. They're in the suburbs. You all come into the city to meet. Nobody cares about how much money you're spending, so it's easier to just do that. Actually, that would be awesome if they had a bar where I could just get together with the boys and sort of play video games. I'd love that. I'd pay for that. Like it'd have to be a console, right? Like just get a console, good internet connection, put you in a room, you can shit talk with your friends, you're all playing together. Some waitress comes in, like those what are they, like Korean like karaoke bars I've been to, right? Where it's like you get your own like private room, set that up but with video games. Oh, I'd love that. You know how much money I'd spend there? It would be nuts. It would have to be like we'd all have to have our own console, play together. Just it would be epic. That's a dream of mine. Not to open one of those, but to actually live near one of those, and to get my friends to go to one of those. But yeah, that'd be sick. And there's places that do it. It's just there's nowhere in Boston, and a lot of my friends have moved away anyways. But yeah, if we could get some nice connections, yeah, that'd be good. But yeah, what were we talking about? That's Call of Duty in the old days. But yeah, it's weird. Like the way you play games does change as you get older. Like you're just the time that you got to play them changes, and all of that changes by like so much that all of a sudden it's just, even with Entropia Universe, like I can't grind like I used to. I don't have that much time to play video games. I can't grind for like 10 hours just to get the next level, right? Like just can't do that. So that's why when you see me log in, a lot of the time I'm just LR30, let's kill some Aatrox, let's talk some shit, and then we're done. And then I usually won't log on until my next video because I just don't have as much time. And with Entropia too, there's like the negative aspect of the more you grind, the harder it gets to play within your like cost range, right? That's why if you guys noticed, I was doing like some Mind Force like playing and stuff like that because it gets expensive with an LR30. Like in this video, we've probably gone through at least probably 100, 150 PDs of ammo. We've got probably another almost 40, I'd like to say, on decay. So like that's like a $15, $20 gaming session right here, and we're like 30 minutes in, and we've already gone through that much. And you can see like the returns aren't that great, honestly. We've got 52 PDs of liver oil. I started with 100 PDs of ammo. Right now in ammo, we're sitting on 17 PDs. Like we're probably taking a loss here of at least, unless I get a global or something like that, we're going to be taking a loss of probably like $10, like 10 USD, 100 PDs. And that's, it's hard to sustain that. If you want to do this every night or you want to have a nice, like, a long play session, like, that's what I like to do when I get the time. When, like, everybody in the house is asleep and I know I've just got, like, the night to myself. Oh, there we go. That's what I was talking about right there. I'm like, I need a global to make it happen. And Mindark heard me. They know what's up. So, yeah, now we're good. Now we won't be losing that much. But, yeah, basically it's... the way my gaming works now, it's like everybody's in bed, and I know like I'm not that tired yet, which is rare. I'm not that tired yet, so it's like, all right, let's get some gaming time in, and then I can sit down and get a nice long play session, But the more responsibilities you get, the harder it is to do that. Unless you can make it your job. So hit subscribe, folks. Make it my job, and then I can play. Then I can do the whole 8 hours, 10 hours a day. I'm good with that. If you guys make it happen for me, I'll make it happen for you. I'm just messing around, by the way. A lot of people comment that they're like, "Serial, keep going. You're gonna be famous." And it's like, well, that would be that wouldn't be that good unless I can retire early or like it takes over from my career. I don't really want to be famous. There's nothing in it for me. I don't want recognition. I want to be in the shadows, just hanging out. It's a lot easier. Because you think like not Ninja, but like any of those guys who are like somewhat well known, you think they can go anywhere. Like they can, but people recognize them, and it's bullshit. And even if you're not like what is it, Swagger Souls? He's like one of those guys that has his face hidden. Like I'm sure so many times he gets recognized, or people hear his voice, and you've got to play that whole like, oh, it's not me. It's like I don't want to do that. I'm happy just being in the shadows. Nobody knows exactly who I am, but we all just sort of tune in, listen, shoot the shit. 30 minutes of me talking, people listen. That's cool. I like it this way. I'm happy with that. And then, I've got a good career. I'm not going to just give up my career because I make minimum wage playing video games. I'm not making that, but if I started, I wouldn't give up my career for that. That's the other thing. A lot of people do that, right? Like, let's change topics here. Nice little transition there where I call it out. But yeah, like so many people, they think like, okay, if I can play video games, make minimum wage, I can make it my career. And it's like, a career, the way a career should work, you might start at minimum wage, but you're going to slowly keep progressing. You're going to slowly make more and more money, and everything's going to happen, and things are going to get better for you, right? The problem is with YouTube and generally like streaming and Twitch and everything like that, it's very fickle. You could be making minimum wage for 1 year, and then it drops to zero because the algorithm changed. You start doing something wrong, or the game that you're really good at and you really like all of a sudden isn't popular. And if you look through sort of the the phone books, those don't exist. If you look through the list of streamers that got big and like sort of baited out, a lot of them have it really rough because they traded in anonymity. Yeah, I think that's the word. They basically traded being anonymous and sort of one of the crowd for being somewhat known to the point where people can look up their name. They've been doxxed because at some point everybody gets doxxed if you get big enough. That's it's not a challenge, it's a fact. But yeah, like stuff like that happens. Now all of a sudden they can't get a career there. They can't get a job, right? Because people look up their name and they're like, what is this guy? It says all this weird stuff about him, and like They see every moment that they had that was bad, and it's just like people have clips of them, and they got a bit of fame. They maybe made 100K, 200K, which is a lot, but you can't take 100K, 200K and make that into a lifetime's worth of income. It just, I mean, in some countries you can. I know. I'm being very close-minded here. In some places you can, but where I'm at, Boston, there's no way you could do it, right? Like a studio in the city costs about $800,000. Not studio, sorry, one bedroom. A one bedroom in the city costs about $800,000. If you want to live in the suburbs, nice place. Let's say you want to get married, have kids, all of that. You're probably paying at least $500, maybe $1 million for your house. 100, 200K, that's a down payment. That's all it is. But when you're younger, it seems like a shit ton of money, right? Like when I was 18, 100, 200K, it was like, oh my God, I could almost buy a Ferrari. And that's insane. But then once you get into the real world, you realize it's not quite as much as you thought it was. And if you had a career, it would be progressing. So by the time you get to the point where you need 100, 200K, you're probably making like, I don't know, I'd like to say like 60 to 80. So then you're actually making the money that you can get the loans and all of that. And, if you're just a streamer, banks are way less likely to give you loans. You got to pay for a lot of things in cash, and not in cash. Like you can still pay a credit card, but you need to pay it off. Like you guys get what I'm saying. It's just a lot harder. And a lot of people, they think that if they're making minimum wage, they can keep it going. But, the growth can be exponential with streaming and with YouTube, which is insane. But if you're not seeing exponential growth, you're probably not going to be seeing it later. And you don't want to throw away a career or anything like that over it. And yeah, I guess that's where I stand. Like, I'm not going to go full time unless I'm actually making like full time, legit money. Like I'd be making, not right now in my career, but like 30 years into my career, because I know it's not going to last. Anytime you're streaming, doing YouTube, any of that stuff, 90% of these guys, they die out within usually a year or two. Channels get big, they get some like good deals, brand deals, they make their money, and then their channel's dead, and they basically retire. I'd love to be able to do that and then go back to work. That would be awesome. Have like a nice little bank account with money in it, and like, okay, we're good. But yeah, I'm not gonna risk it for a little bit of cash. So yeah, I'm not trying to go pro, and that's not something I'm thinking of. Also, if you look at it, right, like Entropia Universe, the user base isn't even here to go pro. There's so many people that they think like, I've heard so many people say that to me. They're like, Serial Overdrive, I want to be a famous Entropia YouTuber that can retire off this. And it's like, oh man. Like Messi, maybe he did it. He says he did it, I think. He says that's his source of income. I don't know. But even that, like that's one in everybody. And he doesn't make money streaming. He makes money playing the game. And he put a lot in to get all his gear and everything like that. Like, I don't know. I just hear people saying that, and it's like I want to correct them so badly, and then people get mad at me. But yeah, Entropia Universe, it's a great game. I love playing it. Like, I have no hate for the game whatsoever. It's just I don't think you can retire off of it. I don't think you should be able to. There's some people that are visionaries, like Never Die, or like Messi, who puts in a ton of money, invests the money, and pulls it out in gear. But most of us don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to invest money in the game, and I'm not planning to be Never Die, where I put in 100K and get out $1 million. I don't even know if that's possible anymore. Like the way the market looks, it seems like everything's pretty saturated. So I don't think you can just buy an asteroid and people are going to come to it. Like, look at how Arcadia Moon worked out and stuff like that. Like, if you put $1 million in and bought Arcadia Moon, you'd be making so little money off that investment right now. And that's what they raised. They raised $1 million. That's where their development. I don't know how their development costs are that high, but apparently they are, and that's what they want. I think it was $1 million. I think. That's what they wanted for it, right? Which, fair enough. They're going to be able to do some great things with that money, but like that's a pretty big risk. And the return so far hasn't equaled the risk. They did do it through deeds, so the risk has been spread out among the player base, which is nice for the company that's doing it all, because they can pay their developers, and life's good. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think we've covered quite a bit here. This video has gone long and it's meandering, and a lot of people are. Some people are going to complain, but whatever. If you made it 36 minutes in, I think that's how. Well, there's some parts I'm going to cut out, but if you made it this far in, like, and you're complaining about how it's meandering, the only reason we're still going is because it meanders. There's no way. Like, Entropia Universe doesn't update enough to have hours and hours worth of content to talk about every month. which is fine because Entropia Universe, a lot of people don't think Mindark is a small company, but they really are, and they do a good bit with the budget that they're given if you think about it, right? Because they're like people say that they're pulling money, but in reality, I think what I've heard is Entropia Universe and Mindark, they're making all their money off of decay. Everything else is just going back into the loot pool. So anytime someone comes in with an NL item or better efficiency than you, they're probably pulling money out of the loot pool, pulling it away from you. So probably right now what you're seeing is I just have a very low efficiency, and that's why I'm getting very low returns. But yeah, like Mindark's not making all that much. My guess is they're probably making a good amount of money on decay, and they're probably also making a decent amount, I'd say, on interest. So that's one of the things a lot of people overlook. If Mindark, because it takes so long to pull out deposits, like if you go to withdraw your money, I think it takes 3 to 6 months. My guess is they have that money invested in bonds or some sort of mid-length investment vehicle, or short term. I don't know, mid-term. Somewhere in there, they've got their money invested so that they can pull out a decent amount every 3 to 6 months if they really need it. And what that allows them to do basically is invest the money and make a nice return on it. They can probably make something between like we got some nice shrapnel here so we can convert it and keep hunting. They probably made something like, they're probably making at least 1% on the money, I'd assume. Because my guess is they probably have millions of dollars in USD just sitting in a bank account waiting for people to withdraw it. And if they just have it sitting in a bank account, that would be stupid. So hopefully they're making something that way. But from the player, supposedly all they're taking is through decay. Everything else is just us sort of taking from each other and paying extra markup for stuff and everything like that, because markup in Mindark doesn't count towards your cost to hunt. So when I have a gun like this, right, Mindark says on average people get 90% returns or something like that. They're not counting the markup for this gun. So that's already going to, drop it down into the 80s. And then when you start adding stuff in, like 90% on average means that some people are making more, some people are making less. Then all of a sudden you've got a little bit of a different picture here. I'm going to try and take on this Guardian. That's going to be the last one I kill here. I don't know if I've got enough ammo for it, but we're going to give it a go. And yeah, you can see like we've easily burned through 200, maybe 250 PDs of ammo in a short sort of 40-minute time span. And that's what happens. The higher you get, the more you burn through. So yeah, it does get tough, but it's still fun. It's always interesting. I love killing higher level stuff because it's like, it's some sort of end game. That's one thing I do struggle with, the end game in Entropia Universe. Like, what is it? Is it to buy a land area? Is it to buy enough deeds that you're self-sufficient? Is it to use the biggest gun? I don't know. Is it to buy an unel weapon? Like, it's hard to know. And I don't think I've hit end game yet, but some players would say I have. Ooh, there we go. All right. And that was a bad loot, so we're going to head back and total everything up. But yeah, some people would say I hit endgame. Personally, I don't think I have yet. I think endgame is going to come when I can pretty much take on every mob. I've got really good gear. Maybe I own a land area. And I don't think endgame is something I'm ever going to hit. Because land areas are expensive. That was always one of my goals. I always wanted to own a land area. I got a shop. I had a shop, but I don't have a land area yet. And maybe one day I'll get there, but it'll be a while. It'll be a while. But my account definitely is self-sufficient, which I really like. So that's cool. But yeah, I don't know what endgame is. What is it for you guys? If you've made it this far into the video, you obviously know something about Entropia Universe because you're watching videos on it. What is endgame for you? What's your endgame? Is it just to be able to hit a certain number of skills? Is it to be able to take on a certain number of mobs, to use a certain weapon? What is it? A lot of people I've heard say level 100, which it's a pretty high endgame. I'm not even close yet. But yeah, I'm curious because I've heard some people too to say like start making a profit and be self-sufficient. And it's like, well, if that's endgame, you can hit it a lot faster than you'd think. And then if endgame's level 100, that probably takes a while. And if it's to trade from 0 to a land area, that's probably going to take you your whole lifetime. So yeah, here we go. This is where we're at. We came out with 100 PDs of ammo. So you can see right here, we're up 9.66 PDs, but that's obviously going to be a lie because what's going to happen, we hit the repair terminal, we dump this in, dump that in, you count for decay. We're probably down 53, 54 PDs. So yeah, probably about a 1 hour run, counting the time I did it before. We lost about 5 USD, which is a pretty steep loss, I'd say. If I'm going to a bar, I'm going to be spending a little bit more, but that's, 5 USD is 5 USD. That's a decent amount of money, I'd say, for a game. But yeah, it just goes to show I probably need to optimize some stuff better. I need to wear armor that isn't just complete overkill. But if you look at the decay on my armor, it wasn't that high anyways. Like if we go back here, throw the armor in, yeah, the decay is not that high. Like I do have some plates on that, which does increase the decay, but it's only 5 PDs. You pull that off, I'm still down, $4.5? I think Boston, not during there's no happy hour. But Boston, if you're buying a beer, is probably going to cost you more than that, I'd say. But if you're sitting at home drinking, you can spend less. And if you're buying a video game, you spend, 10 hours playing this game. That's still a new AAA title. So yeah, you can see that's what I mean when I talk about endgame. Because the thing is, if I start using bigger guns, it just that spend just goes up higher and higher and higher. And it's like at some point I need to start depositing to do it. And then it's like you got to weigh the values, right? Like is a $10 an hour game the same value as a $10 buy once game? And I don't know. It's one of those things I definitely struggle with. It's I shouldn't be saying it because I do a lot of Entropia Universe videos, but it's one of those things I definitely struggle with where I'm just like, is it worth it? I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm a non-depositor sort of in quotation marks right now, but because of that, it's like, well, yeah, of course it is. I haven't spent any money. But then when I think about it, it's like, well, you could pull money out, and I don't know. I go back and forth, and I don't know. This is one of those things I got to rely on the comments section. I always love it when you guys comment down below or jump into Discord, which we talked about earlier, and tell me what you think, because I really do want to hear that, right? Like like I said, it's one of those things I debate. I'm always like, I don't know, is it, isn't it? But yeah. Anyways, I think that's all we've got for today. My voice is getting tired. My microphone is still pumping out some good volumes, but yeah, hopefully you guys liked the video. It did go a little bit long. It went a little sort of meandered through a few paths, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Also, forgot to mention, there's a slight markup here that we're going to be getting, so just look at that. 102%, so we're basically going to be getting a nice extra 2 PDs back. So still decently high losses. Obviously, I could optimize some stuff and change things up, and probably in some future video I'm going to be doing that, just sort of getting to the highest eco, the highest efficiency I can. And just to give some of you guys an idea, when I say efficiency, what I'm talking about, like this, I say this is a high efficiency sort of piece of my gear. If you look here, it's got an 84.4% efficiency. It's a Megatron A203 amplifier, and it doesn't even cost that much anymore. There's 111 sold in the last year, and the average price was 575 PDs. Unfortunately, you want to know how much I paid for this thing? I paid about 2,000 PDs for it. So yeah, that was a rough one. That was a rough one, because you can see here, if you look at this decade, you can see it's going up, and I bought it over a decade ago. You can see here is 1.2. Actually, I probably paid 1.5 thousand for it, not 2,000. Still quite a bit. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really do enjoy Entropia Universe. I know sometimes I seem to complain a lot. People are like, Serial, do you not like the game? No, I love the game. It's just sometimes I make videos about everything I love, and sometimes we just end up going down the rabbit hole of the questions I ask myself. And it's, what is endgame is definitely a big question for me. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have questions, comments, or just want to comment down below, always welcome. Otherwise, you can jump into Discord, hit me up there, we'll talk whatever. Or you can jump onto Twitter and we can just troll people. Anyways, until next time, peace.